Soul Simmers, my name is Dorothy Oswick and welcome back to my channel. This is Wednesdays with the Waffles. This is Cherry Waffles. She lives in this tiny home in the Foundry Cove suburb in Willow Creek. She spends most of her spare time writing books and selling them to random publications for a moderate amount of daily royalties. She has the best-selling author aspiration, she's good, romantic, and family-oriented, but despite being fairly new to the neighborhood, she's still been able to make some friends with the locals, Liberty Lee, Summer Holiday, Travis Scott, and Jenna Major. The group had brought us a fruitcake on our first day here, and Cherry hit it off with all three of them, becoming instant friends. Although she probably has the best compatibility with Jenna, who never ceases to make herself feel at home. The group chatted and had some fruitcake, and after a little while, Cherry sent them away so that she could start writing her first book. After her friends left, she decided to write her first book ever, Pumpkin Spice Waffles, a short story about a girl who really enjoys the fall season. She worked on this book for hours before Summer Holiday invited her out to a new coffee shop in Newcrest, and after only eating Liberty's horrible fruitcake for the last few hours, Cherry decided that she should probably get out of the house and get some real food. Not without hyping herself up in the mirror first, though. The group arrived at Coffee Sippers, a cat-friendly cafe where she ordered a cappuccino and a cannoli. It was so good that she ordered one to go. I think all the seating in here confused them because they kept getting up and sitting down and getting up and sitting down. The girls chatted for a while before deciding to head back to Willow Creek and go to the Blue Velvet Bar to get some drinks and do some dancing. Although it was still quite early in the day, the bar seemed incredibly crowded, but no one but Cherry seemed to be dancing. She decided to grab a drink and chat with Travis at the bar. She even saw a celebrity, Brittany Cho, who made herself incredibly welcome at this bar and decided to get her own drink from behind the bar. After more than a few drinks, Cherry decided to catch an Uber home, where she promptly fell asleep, however briefly, because her alarm went off around 5 a.m. and she needed to start working on her second book. Cherry decided to name the second book Banana Waffles, after a sim she had met in Salvadorada who had a plantain farm. After Cherry published her second book, she had a self-discovery and became self-assured. Cherry was getting quite hungry, so she went back inside and changed into her PJs. She decided to make herself some eggs and toast for breakfast, and while she almost started a fire, she managed to put it out with the spatula. Cherry won a pair of free earbuds and decided to go for a jog and put them to good use. While she was on her run, the royalties from her first book came in. She had made 174 simoleons, which was good, but not great. Cherry also received a phone call from Jenna asking if she wanted to go to GeekCon, and Cherry happily agreed. It was hosted outside of Planet Honeypot Karaoke Bar, and all they had to do was help build a rocket. And this is where Cherry met Eliza Pancakes. She was a bartender at Planet Honeypot, and they both had a laugh at the fact that both of them had breakfast-themed last names. After Cherry had finished her drink, she went out to work on the rocket in the middle of the convention. However, she got bored quickly, and she had a book to finish and publish before the day was done, so she returned home. It only took her a few minutes to finish the book, and she was able to publish it. And afterward, she received another call from Miss Eliza Pancakes, inviting her over for dinner at her house. It seemed as if Eliza really wanted Cherry to meet Bob, although she didn't understand why. Cherry and Bob end up hitting it off, and Bob suggested that Cherry make a tray of drinks for the three of them, although she had no idea where Eliza had gone off to. Cherry and Bob had a few drinks and enjoyed each other's company. Bob and Cherry got so close so fast that they actually became good friends right away. By the time Eliza had returned, Cherry was feeling pretty dazed from the drinks, and Bob asked if she needed to stay the night, Eliza saying that she could take her room. Although Cherry got a little confused and decided to go into Bob's room, because she thought it was a guest bedroom. Eliza then explained that her and Bob had been separated for a while, and that's why they slept in separate bedrooms. This led to Bob storming out of the room because he was embarrassed. Cherry went to comfort Bob, and he explained that he and Eliza were actually divorced, and had been for a while, and it had been Eliza's idea to set Bob up with Cherry, but that Eliza had also developed feelings for her. At the bar, Eliza was actually flirting with Cherry. Like, I didn't have to do any of that. Cherry was overwhelmed with feelings and made a rash decision to risk woohooing a man she had just met, ignoring the potential consequences. In shock of what she had just done, Cherry ran from the Pancake's house and to the confines of her tiny home. By the time she had gotten home, she was starving and decided to make herself some fish tacos. The fish seemed good enough. She then fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, Cherry called Eliza, and they had a very nice chat where Cherry was able to confirm what Bob had said. Apparently, Eliza was upset that Bob wasn't able to support her on his own dime, and that's what led to the divorce, as Eliza was very materialistic.
Granoid bars pelka pinar. Klevite benu. Fredoy befala yadim.
Eliza's words assured Cherry, although she still felt sick, it was probably from those fish tacos. While she was doing her dishes, she really felt the need to hurl. Cherry figured that it must have been the bad fish tacos, but she decided to take a pregnancy test just in case. To Cherry's dismay, she was eating for two. She really needed to start writing more books and publishing them in order to convert her spare room into a nursery. Cherry immediately started writing another book called Chocolate Chip Waffles, a children's story about a chocolate chip that came to life. As Cherry was finishing her writing, she heard Summer Holiday knocking on her door. She had a gift for Cherry, an old Gabby that Cherry happily put on her desk. Summer also congratulated Cherry on her pregnancy. As Summer was heading out, she ran into Jenna, and the two gossiped about who the father of Cherry's baby was, though Cherry claimed she'd never tell anyone. Cherry was craving chocolate, so she made a box of pre-made brownies, which subsequently led to Cherry's oven catching on fire. Thankfully, the brownies made it through the fire, because after replacing the oven, she was left with only 226 simoleons. And thankfully, the firemen actually showed up to help us put it out. Cherry needed to get back to writing. She ate her brownie and came up with a new name for a new book called My Little Waffle. After she had published her book, she changed into her PJs and watched the TV season premiere of Peach is the New Orange. It had been all the rage in her neighborhood, and she wanted to understand why people liked it. She still didn't. She was able to watch her show until the computer and the TV broke simultaneously. With the recent fire, Cherry didn't have enough money to hire a repairman, so she decided to fix the electronics herself. Thankfully, she was pregnant and couldn't die while getting electrocuted. With all the disruptions, Cherry had to work late into the night on her latest book. Cherry decided that this book would actually be a screenplay that she would eventually turn into a movie. Is it just me, or do old Gabby's eyes just follow you everywhere? As she placed her latest screenplay, The Pancake That Served Me, into the mail, she discovered that her book, My Little Waffles, was a hit, and she was to appear on a talk show later that day to discuss the book. This was Cherry's big break, as she was now a notable newcomer, or a one-star celebrity. She somehow also acquired the art lover trait and no-touching quirk. Cherry took a quick shower before heading off to her local thrift shop. She quickly had a boba, and it was excellent quality, and she gained the refined palette quirk. Cherry searched through the racks. She found herself an adorable outfit that would make her look more like a writer. She went to try it on in the changing room and left the store happy. She paid 135 simoleons for the entire outfit. Thankfully, her royalties will come in later that day. The interview wasn't for another few hours, so Cherry decided to go home and take a quick nap. She still had some time to kill after her nap, so she decided to work on her screenplay. But then it was off to Del Sol Valley. Cherry was very nervous as she met with the host, Duke Raymond, in his trailer on the lot. She was allowed to tour the small set, but then it was showtime. Sul Sul TV presents Hey, Great Idea, hosted by Duke Raymond. Our guest today is Cherry Waffles. She's here to promote her new book, My Little Waffles. Tell me, Cherry, what's going on? Well, Duke, I found out I was pregnant, so I wrote about my little waffle. And next thing you know, I'm a one-star celebrity, and now I'm here talking to you. Oh, that's great, Cherry. Do you have any other projects in the work right now? Yes, actually, I do. I have a screenplay that's in the works. It'll be out in a few days. You'll be able to see it then. And what's this new screenplay about, Cherry? Well, it's about a pancake who is very bad. All right, that's great, Cherry. And what do you have to say to that bad pancake? Sul Sul TV is not recorded in front of a live audience. Dag dag! See you soon! Cherry felt confident after the interview about her next screenplay. She grabbed a boba from catering before being shuttled away in a private car back home. where she was greeted with an unhappy Bob. He had seen the interview and noticed that she was pregnant. Cherry said that she didn't want Bob to be involved and that she would rather do this on her own. She said that she would live in this tiny home as long as she needed to, and that she was a celebrity now, so she didn't need to worry about money. Bob was incredibly angry at Cherry, but he left Cherry alone. But that is all for this week's episode of Wednesdays with the Waffles. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button because it really helps out. If you have baby name suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I upload a couple videos a week, so subscribe and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post a new video. I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you all in the next video. Dag dag!